morning. So I've just promised we will talk about Sir Joe. However, we've now in the background got the box of records that are going into the John Oxley Library, as it happens. So, Don, we were talking about Sir Joe's legendary attention to detail. I mean, he really was a person who thought strategic and long-term about things, which is the reason why once he got the bit between his teeth about World Expo '88, he fought diligently to get it. And I know you're a federal politician, but what are your thoughts about Sir Joe, putting aside the later Sir Joe and the alleged corruption, versus the earlier Sir Joe with the drive that was purely about building the state?
Well, Peter, probably like everyone that goes to the top job as Premier, he had an ambition, but the difference is he achieved, and he probably made possible achievement by the climate he created, whereas some premiers enact laws that ultimately work against advancement, that they feed sectional interests. But Joe had a vision for our state. I later served in the Parliament with his wife, Lady Flo, and I knew her better than I knew Sir Joe personally. But, you know, he was a hugely controversial figure. They either loved him or they hated him, but the results of every election were such that the majority obviously loved him.
And one of his, luck has a little bit to do with politics.
Oh yes.
And as luck would have it, Joe started from a very blank slate. Queensland was very much undeveloped. We touched earlier about primary industries. Yeah. I mean, really, when Joe went into Parliament in the late 1940s, which I think he did, primary industries, that was it. And then during that Jack Pizzey period and the early part of Sir Joe, they started to do mining. And the later part of Sir Joe, with Sir Frank Moore's help, they developed tourism.
That's right.
So I think starting out with a vision is a downside easier when you don't have the complexities. That's right. And, so I don't particularly want to denigrate later premiers because they've had a much tougher job to do. But again, yes, I think Joe was very single-minded, incredibly so.
Absolutely. Either the Joe way or no way.
Exactly right. And with that, we'll break off. Thank you.